Kia ora. Helen Brahms here coming to you live from Surprise in Arizona. Welcome to Before the Dirt Nap podcast, number 1860. Home again. Woohoo! I have to tell you, I have thoroughly enjoyed my last few days. When did I leave? Thursday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, I've enjoyed the last 5 days. Tripping out to California, spending time with the grandkids, coming home again. Today was, they said on the map thing, oh God, my hair's a mess. Sorry, I totally forgot to do my hair before I came on. Deal with it. It is how it is. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. But anyway, had an amazing trip home. It said it would take me 5 hours and 20 minutes to get home. That was without stops. That's just driving from there straight through. And I knew that wasn't going to happen because I needed to stop and get gas along the way. Plus, needed breaks as well. I ended up having 3 breaks, 1 for gas and 2 for comfort stops. And 1 comfort stop, I got out at the rest area, went inside. None of the stalls had locks on them. And there was 2 women's restroom areas, completely separate. So I went into one. There was a locked door with nobody in it. It was locked. The next one had no door on it. The next one had a door but no lock, or the lock was there, it just didn't work. And then they had the accessible room, which also had a lock on it that didn't work. So I thought, okay, I'll go to the one next door. So I went to the one next door, same situation. Although the accessible room didn't even have a door on it. And I was sort of like, what the heck? And there was another store without a door on it. And there was another one that was locked when nobody was in it. And then there was the one that was open with a door on it and the lock didn't work. And I was like, screw this. I can wait till the next one. So got back on the road and went to the next one and everything was working fine. We had locked doors and everything. So much cleaner, much nicer. And yes. And then the next stop I had was for, and usually I take a lot of stops, but the next one I had was for gas, gas, food, and did that. So I got that taken care of. And when I stopped for that one, I was only an hour and a half away from home. And I thought, that's it. I'm not stopping. I am going straight through. I've got a full tank of gas. We're good to go. I got food. I've got a full tank of gas. I wasn't wearing my sunglasses at the time. It was bright and sunny outside, but the sun was over here. It wasn't in front of me. It wasn't shining in my eyes. I didn't have anything bright that it was reflecting off or anything. So I didn't have my sunglasses on. It was not night. If anybody knows the Bruise Brothers, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, got home. And so my whole trip with the breaks took 6 hours and 50 minutes. I think that's right. Because it was meant to be 5 hours and 20. Yeah, because I left at 8:07. I left and I got home at, hang on, I can tell you because I texted my mum to say I'm home. Where's the text to my mum? Oh, there it is right there. Took me 6 hours and 7 minutes with stops. So I thought that was pretty good. 6 hours and 7 minutes because I left at 8:07 and got home at 2:17, which is 6 hours and 7 minutes. And so I got everything unpacked. And the cool thing I like about my house is that the door into the garage is here, and directly opposite that door is the laundry. So I just wheeled my suitcase in there, unloaded everything into the washing machine, put the washing machine on, went and unloaded the rest of the car. And the only thing I still got left to unpack is the cooler. It's plugged in. I brought it into the house, plugged it in, and I haven't unpacked it yet. I just realized that. Everything else is unpacked. Even the laundry is done. I still have to take it out of the dryer. And I've already been, and while I still had energy, I went out and got groceries, got dinner on the way home. So I had a really early dinner, already had dinner. And I'm just sort of like, as you can tell by the bags under my eyes, I am ready to just go sleep. I'm ready to go to bed and get some sleep. And I get to pick up Zeffie in the morning. Oh yeah. And I've still got my tech bag my work bag to unpack, which is my laptop in there, my iPad, all the work I've been doing for clients, and my reading material and my book for next Saturday. Oh, for this Saturday, this coming Saturday. This coming Saturday, we have our book discussion on The Housemaid. So if you want to come join us on the book discussion for The Housemaid at the Love to Read Book Club, you can find us on Eventbrite, and you can also find us on Facebook under Love to Read book club, and it's or even just no, better yet, scan this QR code up here. Scan the QR code; it'll take you right to the group. You can join up with the group. You can join us on our discussion on Saturday morning. It's going to be the first Saturday of every month at 9 a.m. Pacific time for I think it's an hour. I think if that's what I've got down for the thing. I have to go back and have a look because I have the itinerary written out. The agenda. I'm in trip mode. I don't know what I'm doing. How was your day? Was it good? And I will tell you that I love my grandkids. I really do. They introduced me to all sorts of wonderful worlds and things, and just to watch their creativity and stuff. But one of the things that they liked to watch when we were, in the early morning, on Saturday morning and Sunday morning, was YouTube. And there's these different kids and grown-ups that they follow on you, and young adults and people in their 20s that they follow on YouTube that basically, I guess, just do like life type videos that then go and do things. Oh, we're going to go build a secret room. We're going to test out this Lamborghini. We're going to go test out the Tesla. We're going to go and and we've got these little mini cars that we go driving around and through the house in. And that was the adults. They had these little cars that they would sit in, and they would sit basically on the back of the car, and they had the steering wheel between their legs, and they had the pedals down where the pedals go, and they're just like scooting around this big house that one of them owns or rents or something, I don't know, racing around the house, racing around the pool, racing around, and they had like some acres as well that they go racing around. And they were testing one, what was it? Was it a Tesla bike? It was a mini bike. It was a Tesla mini bike or something. So a four-wheeler. And I think it was, and they were testing it going up these hills that they had, and did it have the power to get up these hills? And it was a lot of fun. So they had me watching all these things. And I have always had this thing with secret rooms, secret passages, secret rooms. It goes all the way back to when I first started reading mystery books like Enid Blyton's Famous Five, or Enid Blyton's Secret Seven being the first of them, where they'd had these, they'd be in these old houses or these old castles, and they'd find these secret passages that would lead to these secret rooms, or they'd find the secret room and there was no passages, it was just a room. And I've always had a fascination with them. And so I thought, I'm going to watch some more. So after I got home from before grocery shopping, while I was having dinner before I came on here, I thought, I'm going to watch some of these. But I actually found one where this guy had built their dream home for their family, and they had 3 children. And all their children are teenage years, getting close to heading off to college. And he says, we're going to show you 4 secret rooms in our home that were when we were building the home, were added in. And they've never been, and apparently they showed the construction of the house and the finishing of the house, where they've shown every other room in the house, but they had never shown these 4 secret rooms. And so 3 of them belonged to each of their teenagers, and then they had one that was their own secret room for the parents, and it had a painting easel in there, and there's like no natural light in this room. And it also had this just blew my mind. You go in, there is this huge bank of electronic stuff. If you think of those movies where they go into computer rooms and they've got these rows after rows after rows of banks, yeah, that was one of those things on there. It had their security cameras on there. It had all the TVs on there. It had all their internet connections on there. It had security camera. It had everything electronic was controlled by this bank of stuff, electronic stuff. And he was showing us the pre-construction thing with all these wires and everything. There was oodles of whales. I'm tired. There was like a huge bunch of wires, and it all went to this panel thing that, like I said, controlled the security camera, controlled the gates, controlled every electronic thing in the house, the lights, the appliances, the TVs, everything. And I was just like, wow, what would happen if you had a power cut? That's all I could think of. And he even says, look, it gets so hot in here that we had to put an AC unit in here to use during the summertime. So I have no idea where their house is. But apparently the room gets very hot in the summertime, that it has its own AC unit in the room. I was like, oh my gosh, this is hilarious. So I ended up watching this thing, and then I was like, I've got to stop this thing with it. But this was a different secret room, rather than these kids creating these secret rooms for people to come find them and all this sort of stuff. Because some of those got a little on the silly side. But yeah, it was a good trip, and the trip home was a breeze. I headed north on the 215 on the 15 to the 215. Then it took me off on, I can't remember the name of the road, down to some road where I went onto some other road that ended up on the 10. So I missed out the whole 60 onto the 10 thing. I missed out that whole corner piece. I told it to take me the fastest route, and so it did. And got onto the 10 and had a little bit of traffic when I first got on at the 10, and then it opened up and we had hardly any traffic at all on the ride home. The roads were a breeze. I was doing my usual 5 miles above the speed limit. Even when we got into construction areas where they had 55 and I'm going along at 16 cars going zoom, 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 like they hadn't even slowed down from 70. They're just flying past. And so I thought, well, okay, whatever. But basically it was open road, very little traffic at all, if any. I got a little snarled up once we got to Buckeye, but then it was sort of like I managed to move through that pretty easily, and then got my turn, took my exit that I needed to take, and got home. And 6 hours and 7 minutes with three stops, and my longest one being getting gas, because I went inside, used the facilities, got some food, and then went out, put the gas in the car, and then came home. But yeah, it was a good run home. I was super impressed with that. And like I said, I still got the cooler unpacked and still got my backpack over there to unpack, but everything else is out of the car, unpacked. I haven't got it ready to pick up Zeffie tomorrow morning. Looking forward to seeing her. Oh my gosh, I've so missed her. I just got to put her seat cover thing back in and her bowl of water, and which reminds me, I've got to set up. I washed all of her bowls and stuff before I left on Thursday. Yeah, Thursday, because I dropped her off Wednesday night. So I washed all of her bowls and stuff. So I just need to fill up the water one ready for her when she gets home, because her thing when she gets home is she comes inside, she sniffs, she goes straight to her water bowl, has a drink, and then goes and sniffs everything and follows me around the house. And then she'll find a place to, once she's verified everything's okay, she then goes and finds a spot wherever I am, and I'll be here in the office, so she'll be right there, and she will sleep for the next 2 days. The only time she'll get up will be to eat and to go for her walk. Every other time she'll be asleep. She won't even want to play. No playtime, no nothing like that, because she's recovering, and I'm sort of like, I just want to curl up with her and go to sleep for a couple of days as well. But like I said, great run home. Totally enjoyed the drive home. Even came up with some book ideas on the way home as well, as I'm driving along. And I was listening to music as I was driving along as well. And which reminds me, I got to go recharge my earbuds. Came up with some idea as I'm listening to as I was listening to music and things. Different ideas were popping up. And I've got one storyline that came up. I even came up with an idea for a book for us to do for the book club review. And I may even see if we can get the author to come on when we do the book discussion, and see if he would like to participate in the book discussion, or at least do a Q&A with people about the book. So I thought about that idea as well. So yes, I had these great ideas on the way home, got them all written down. And so we'll see what happens with those, but came up with an idea for a book story. I know I've got lots of book ideas in my head. I've even got some that are written out in where I've got all the character descriptions down, everything else. That's the book series. This is a standalone book. I've even worked out how it's going to start. I even did like the opening 2 sentences. Yeah, I even worked out the opening 2 sentences. And thought about how I could, and then thought of the idea of how the book goes. And there'll be some tough bits to write in there, but I basically got the outline of the book. And I'm just going to go and write it all. I haven't written it all up yet, but I'm going to go write it all up and see. Maybe that one will come out before the first of the book series comes out. I actually got 3 book series, 3 book series. I've got a main one, and then I've got 2 offshoots from that main one. But yeah, no, this one's a complete standalone book, and it's going to be interesting writing that one. But I have an author that inspired me on that story. In fact, what song was I listening to? There was a song I was listening to that suddenly got me like, why don't I write about blah, 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 blah? And then I started writing, thinking it through in my head. And then I suddenly came, opening 2 lines will be this, this, and this, or this and this. And then it inspired me about this other book that I had read that we can do. And I thought, let's do this book, do that particular book. I was like, that kind of reminds me of this book that was written. So let's get that one into our book club and get them reading that, and then do and see if we can get the author on to do a Q&A with us on that book during our book discussion. I thought that would be brilliant. So that's where that idea came from. And so one's inspired the other, and and the brain just went crazy after that. And the worst part is that sitting right next to me in my little thing that sits on the passenger seat when I'm driving, that has like the essentials like tissues and there and wipes and my sunglasses, is a little pouch that has a digital recorder in it. But all I want to do is listen to music. And I thought, well, maybe I can get the digital recorder out, because I've got it in the pouch so I can put it over my head, and I can have it sitting here so it catches my voice while it's in the pouch, and it's completely hands-free. And I just got to start it, slide it back in, and away we go. No. I even thought about it at one point, and I'm like, no, because then I got to stop the music to listen. And the music right now was inspiring me and was actually energizing me and keeping me going. And so I was, and usually around 10:30, I start getting like a slump in the mornings. I had none of that this morning. And so I was sort of like, nope, I don't want to interrupt the flow, because if I turn the music off, then I'm going to start, yes, I can start talking, but it's going to drain me and I'm going to get tired. So let me just think about things while the music was inspiring me in all sorts of different ways today. So when you're on road trips, what do you do to keep your mind active and to keep your concentration on driving and on the road and staying safe? What tricks and techniques do you have? Today for me, it was listening to music. And it was all stuff that I basically knew and would sing along to most of it, which I'm surprised I still have a voice after that, because I was belting out some of those tunes. I don't know if I was on key, off key. I really don't care. It was me in my car, me and Bluebird, and we were just humming along down the road, singing at the top of our lungs. It might have looked, I don't know what it looked like from any cars. Mind you, the cars were like over the other side of the median strip, so I really don't care. And if anybody passing me saw me sitting there belting out these songs, I don't care. I'm at that age now where I really don't care about some things. I don't care how I look when I'm out in public. And some things I do take thing with my appearance. Like I went out like this today. This is what I was driving in today, and I went out like this grocery shopping, and I didn't care. I still had my I've got these compression anklet cruise socks that don't have any toes on it, so it's open toed and it just goes over the foot and up the ankle. So it kind of looks like an ankle brace or an ankle bandage or something, and they're actually compression socks. And I find them great for when I'm driving. I don't like the full size ones because I end up getting too hot with those. Plus, I don't like putting those things on. But these ones allow my toes to be free, and I don't have to worry about putting socks on them. I just slide my feet into my shoes, and yes, my toes are free. And they come up. They're like basically the same size as crew socks, as far as how high up the leg they go. Actually, between a crew height and an ankle height. And they're great, and they're what I need when I'm driving to stop my feet from getting swollen. On flights, I usually go for the longer compression socks, depending on how long the flight is. But I have worn these shorter ones on shorter flights, and that has helped immensely as well. So so I had them on, had my pinks, they were purple, matched my shirt, and then I had my pink loafers on. My yoga shorts on, and that was me. I was set for the day. I even went grocery shopping like that, and I didn't care. I was there. There's my list, which was really cool because I get to the checkout and I'm looking at the thing, and of course then she hits the button and then it takes my number. Then it activates all of the coupons and everything from my customer number, and that thing dropped $30 something. Was it 40? almost $40 it dropped just from, because almost everything I purchased was on some sort of sale. And yeah, so I was just like looking at it and went, oh, because on their app, it showed a different price. And when I got to the checkout and I put my number in, it took into account all the coupons that I had put aside, all the specials that they were having going, plus my, I belong to their booster club, their booster club thing, which gives us free things and other things. And my blueberries were free. And they just went, brrr. Yeah, just said again. And I don't clip coupons as far as getting those things. And because a lot of the coupons that are out there, I don't use. But when it's in a grocery store, they look at what you buy frequently and let you know when they have different deals and stuff on that stuff. But I got a whole bunch of chicken legs, drumsticks today that were on sale. And so I'm going to go and roast those up. I'm going to freeze one of the packs because there's a whole bunch in there. And the other pack I will marinate and roast, because I don't have a grill to do them on, and I wouldn't know how to do them on a grill anyway. And if I put out my George Foreman grill, it would take forever and a day to do them. And they always recommend don't doing anything with bones in. They still have the bones in them. So yeah, not going to happen. So I'll just roast them in the oven and cook them that way. But they'll come out delicious. And so I'm looking forward to that. And so one of the packs will go into the freezer. The other one will cook probably tomorrow. I'll put them on tomorrow. And tomorrow morning before I have to go to work. And that way, before I go to work, I can have some for lunch. Yay! See how it all works out? But anyway, that's it from me. I'm out of here. I'm going to go and relax and enjoy and do some writing. And because looking at what was on my watch list, and I was sort of like, I wasn't, and there's new episodes that have come for some of the programs that I've watched, and I'm sort of like, yeah, I really don't feel like watching any of that. But I do have a book to finish. I have 3 books to finish. So I'm going to figure out, I've got one I have to finish before Saturday. I've got my Jana de Leon just released her new one on Friday? Saturday. She put a note into the group that she has for all of her readers, all of her followers and stuff. She's over 16,000 people in that group who follow her and read her books, and announced that she had released it in her store this morning, and that was like either Friday or Saturday that she announced that. So I went straight into her store and got it. She announced this morning that it has been released to the online retail stores for those that do the electronic copies, and it's up to them when they get them up and running. But you can now also, I believe, order the physical copy of the book for those that like the physical. The audio will be available in about 2 to 3 months, which is what it takes after the book's published for the audio to be released. So she has very strict rules in her group. And one of the strict rules that she has is you are not allowed to do any spoilers in her group until the audio has been out for at least a month. So for those that have read the book, they can't talk about that book in the group for 3 to 4 months, because it takes 2 to 3 months for the audio to come out, and then they've got to add another month on for that. And so she actually has a group set up for those that want to talk about the books that is complete. It's a spoilers group. And I thought that is such a brilliant idea for an author to have. This is the main reading group. You're not allowed to put any spoilers in here. You will get kicked out. If you want to talk spoilers, you go over to this group over here. And you can talk spoilers all day long, as much as you want in that group. And nobody will care, because it is the spoilers group. I have not stepped foot in the spoilers group. I don't want to be spoiled. I don't want to provide spoilers for people, and I don't want to find out what's coming up in books and things. But I'm about halfway through this book already. And I have to tell you, her sense of humor is incredible. It is. She's got a wicked mind, that woman. That woman has an amazing imagination with some little wickedness thrown. I mean, we were sitting out yesterday after the parents got home. The kids went in for a swim. So Mum went and sat by the pool, in the pool area, and read. And my oldest and I was sitting on the patio, underneath the patio frame with the fan going, where it was a little cooler. And we're both sitting there reading, and all of us were keeping an eye on the kids at the times. And I'm just sitting there chuckling away to myself at the antics in this book. And I have to say, they've gotten funnier and funnier and funnier as the books have gone on. This was book 28, I think it is, in the series. You know, it's really hard to believe there's that many books in the series. But yeah, I think it was 28. But this one's called Marsh Madness. And don't go start reading at Marsh Madness. You've got to start with Louisiana Longshots, which is the very first book. Because yes, you could go and read them, but you wouldn't understand a thing about what's going on or a thing about the characters or how they intermingle together. Because as the books go on, there's like underlying story threads that go through all of the books. Even though each book has its own main story, there's all these little underlying stories that carry along from book one all the way through, and the character developments along the way, how they get to know the main character. And all the books are told in first person because they're the Miss Fortune mysteries, so it's all told from Fortune Redding's perspective. And so you get to see everything from her perspective, and you get to see her developing her relationships with the other characters in the book, and you see the other characters developing in the books as you go along as well. And like there's some characters in there that when they first came in, I'm like, what the heck is this? Get that person out of that book right now, and this is what I would do to him, and blah 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 blah. And now I actually like the character. And now I'm like, whenever this character comes into place, oh, what's this person up to now? And even the main character's relationship with this person has gone from being from having this person who is very annoying to being one of her advisors now. That's how I'm going to put it. One of her advisors now. So in certain areas. And yeah, it's just, and you get to know all the minor characters as well, and you see them developing and coming along too. So there's lots of great. So if you don't start at book one, you'll be completely lost about the characters. So Louisiana Longshot is the very first book in that series. I think I have the link for it in the description. I think I have the link for it there. Yes, I do. Fortune Reading book series, and there's the link right there. So if you go into the description, look for Fortune Reading book series, click on that, it'll take you straight to Louisiana Longshots. And basically she's a black op CIA operative. CIA operative in Black Ops. And she's got a price on her head. So her boss hides her at his niece's great aunt's house. And she goes in as the niece, while the niece is off enjoying a summer vacation in Europe. She gets put into this place, and in place of the niece, the great aunt has passed away. So the niece is meant to be visiting for the summer to inventory the house for probate and all that sort of blah, 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 blah. And so the niece, now I think CIA black operative, now becomes the school librarian, a former beauty queen who is now a school librarian. CIA black ops to former beauty queen who is now a school librarian. That should be enough to get you interested. Yes. Who suddenly has to wear fake nails. She has short hair, so now she's got extensions in her hair, so she has to get used to wearing long hair now, and getting used to fake nails and heels and makeup and dresses and all that sort of stuff that she very rarely would wear during her black op stuff that she did. So that should give you some idea about how out of place. And she's hidden in this little town in Louisiana called Sinful, Louisiana, which is I think about 2 hours drive somewhere from New Orleans. It's a completely fictitious town. And everybody knows everybody, and everybody's in everybody's business type of town. And she is basically hiding there from these arms dealers who have a price on her head. Yes. That's just the setup for Louisiana Longshot. Go get the book, read the rest of it. It'll take you from there into the person that she is today. And yeah. Just put it this way, I am thoroughly enjoying book 28. So without further ado, I am out of here. Go out, have a super fantastic sparkling evening. Please join us tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, I have an incredible person coming on. You think I have a lot of energy? Wait till you meet her. Wait till you meet our guest tomorrow night. Her energy is so infectious. And I just absolutely love her. She has an incredible story to share with you and what she does to help others. She's got this mastermind class coming up, so she'll be talking about that. But she is just an amazing, amazing individual, and I can't wait to bring her on. So if you are ready for high voltage energy and you need some, come join us tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Pacific. Even if you don't need the energy, come join us anyway, because it is going to be an off the charts podcast tomorrow evening. I can't wait to introduce you guys to her. So I will catch you guys back here tomorrow night at 6